Okay, welcome back to Blue Heron Homestead. My name is Jamie, and tonight I'm going to take you into my kitchen. We have some collards here that we've grown in our greenhouse. These pretty much grow year-round, but I'm in the mood for some collards tonight. I'm going to show you how to cook those. And then with the collards, I'm also cooking salmon patties, and I just use canned salmon and an egg and some cornmeal. You can do any kind of seasonings you want. I love garlic, salt, pepper, just the basic stuff. And then because I'm feeling like it, we've got a Southern meal. I'm throwing in a Greek dish. And then it's random, but I'm just in the mood for Greek fries. So the inspiration behind that, there's a place we go to in Tarpon Springs, Florida that sells great Greek food. It's a little Greek community there. It's amazing. And they have Greek fries, and they're so good. So you just fry your French fries, and then you put feta cheese, some lemon on it, and I'm going to do some oregano. In fact, you know what? I've got to get some oregano. I just thought about that. So, but I'm not going to fry them. I'm just going to kind of put them on a stove and just kind of cook them that way. I'm not going to deep fry them or anything like that tonight. So basically, we're going to have a good Southern meal plus Greek fries. So let me show y'all something. Here's our collards. We have several here and some little row back here. These are really cool. Y'all, collards were my daddy's favorite. He loved collards and cornbread, but they grow year round. So they see the top here, how it's budding. You do not want to cut that. Now look at the bottom here where we have cut several. See right here, you can tell where the stalks came out and we cut those. That's what you want to do. You never want to cut from the top because it's going to keep growing. This thing will grow super, super high. Like I said, we grow collards year round, so it's a really cool thing. And you know, we're in the South, and most women will put them on the stove and boil them, and you can do that. But I have actually just taken them before and in a quick minute just put them on the stove with some olive oil and maybe a little butter and just sauteed them with some seasonings. And so just cooking them, and they're really good, and it's fast. But tonight I'm actually going to boil them in some chicken broth, and I'm going to show that whole process. But yes, so anyways, these are collards. They're a little more tougher than like a turnip green or a spinach or kale, but they are absolutely delicious. So also, like I said, we're doing some Greek potatoes. I have Italian oregano down here. I don't want that. I've already got some of this dehydrated and put in the house, but I'm just going to grab a hunk of the Greek oregano. Y'all, this stuff, oh, it smells so good. If you don't grow Greek oregano, try it. It's delicious. I mean, you could put this in potatoes, potato salad. You could do it in chicken dishes, wherever you want. So I'm just going to get a little bit of this, and I'm going to add it to my potatoes tonight. The other night, I made rosemary potatoes with parsley, and I used my rosemary back there, and it was really good. And another thing that I love about rosemary is it's just pretty to cut and put maybe just in a small vase or something. It's just really pretty, and it smells really good. So anyways, all right, come meet me in my kitchen. Let's get to cooking. All right, so welcome to my kitchen. Because I like to share real life with you guys. If I'm being perfectly honest, this is one of those days where when I went to pick up my child from school, I thought, you know, why don't I just order some Mexican food tonight? Because there's a restaurant that's local that we absolutely love. I'm not a big fan of eating out, but that place, I could go once a week. It's amazing. But anyways, it's just been a long day. It's been a good day, a productive day, but we've done between gardening stuff this morning and our farm stuff, plus we worked cows, we penned cows. We've got to go tonight and pick up our check from that. And I'm just honestly worn out, and it's getting hot outside, and so I'm just worn out. I kind of woke up this morning feeling like, ugh, you know, it's just been Monday. It's been a good day, productive day, but I'm honestly exhausted. So, but no. Sometimes we just have to put our big girl panties on, or, you know, if you're a man, you deal with this at times where you don't want to cook or whatever, you know, and you have to do it anyways. So one thing that I do is I put my collards in a strainer. Hold on a second. Let me show you. So this is the leaf that the collard was on. And I basically just shred the leaf from the thickest part here. You could totally cook this thick part, but it's not To me, it's not good. So I just take the leaves off, and I was actually going to show you one, but I got ahead of myself here and just started shredding all of them. But it's not hard to tell. Here's your thicker stem. You just shred the leaf off of it. And then I'm going to show you how I wash them, and then how I cut them, and then how I cook them. So I have my collards here. Obviously, it would be easier to do this twice, but I'm just going to show you once. So all I do is take a good sharp knife, come through it. I cut it like this because these are very thick, and you want to be able to cut them down some. So, and I'm going to come through here and just kind of bunch them up and cut them again. It's not pretty, but it works, y'all. And that's what I'm about right now. It's just getting it done so that I can feed my family tonight, and then we can call it a day. All right, so I have my colander here, and I'm going to put some in here, and I'm going to rinse them, and then I'm going to throw them in my Dutch oven, which I will show you in a minute. Now, here's the deal. I have seen women do this multiple ways years ago, and probably these women that I've watched do this in the past, probably all passed away by now, but they would take their greens, and a lot of times, you know, right out of the gardens, outside, not in the greenhouse. Greenhouse is very sheltered, and they would just make sure their sink was clean, and they would just wash their greens in their sink, and they'd have one side of their sink filled with water and one clean, and they would put their greens in and swish them around, and then take them and, you know, rinse them out on the other side, and then put in for fresh water. And you can totally do that. I'm not going to do that because ours are cleaner than what they would be like if they were just out in the yard. But also I have a farmhouse sink, so I don't have the two, like the divider in my sink. So what I do is I just put them in a colander. They're not really dirty to start with. I mean, I do want to rinse them off, but it's not a big deal to me. And I just rinse them like this. You can also use a salad spinner if you want, but there again, this is easy enough. All right, then I'm also going to take my Dutch oven over here, and I'm just going to throw that pile in. Okay, and I'm going to repeat the process here. When we built this house, I loved the idea of a second sink because I wanted one to rinse my vegetables in. And then through the years, we found old sinks. The kind that had been like in your great-grandparents' house kind of thing, sinks. And we put those in the yard and one's in the greenhouse. And so now I can rinse vegetables out there. But we love it every morning because Ryan can use it for coffee when he makes coffee in the mornings. Because sometimes the housekeeper goes to bed with the dishes dirty. Oh, I know you shouldn't do it. Not every night, but some nights, the housekeeper, whoever she may be, doesn't do the dishes. So at least we have this sink, so we're guaranteed coffee in the mornings. Anyways, but then she quickly gets the dishes done after that coffee's served. 2 cups, and I'm gonna pour it. And if I'm being honest with you guys, I don't really measure stuff. This is what's challenging for me to show you something to cook because I don't measure. I've been cooking for 25 years now. I absolutely love to cook. It's not just feeding people. To me, cooking is an art. It's creativity, and I just enjoy it. So I don't measure unless I'm baking, and then I have to be specific. And I don't, I'm not going to add any more chicken broth to that or chicken powder. Okay, so here we go. We'll stir that around. Now let's get in with the seasonings here. First things I'm going to use is some apple cider vinegar. I bought this at Costco. I've had it for forever. You don't want a lot, okay? Just a tad, because believe me, if you put too much, it's going to ruin the taste of them. So I'm literally going to come in with like the top full here. Maybe 2 of these. Collards have a tendency to be kind of bitter to start with. And so you don't want a ton of it, all right? So we'll stir that. Now, also, a little bit of crushed red pepper flakes here. If you don't like the heat, that is fine. Sometimes when I cook these, when people are going to be eating outside of our family, our immediate family, I don't use this. But it does add a nice little kick. And you don't need many. I just put a few in my hand and put them in there. I don't know. Not even 1/8 of a teaspoon. Okay, garlic, because can you cook anything and not put garlic in it? No, garlic has to go in everything, right? So there again, I don't measure, y'all. I just shake and I hope it turns out all right. And most of the time it does. So I'm just gonna put a good bit of garlic on there. Yep. Onion powder. You could dice up some onion, but there again, like I said, tonight I'm just not feeling it. So I'm just gonna use onion powder because why not? It works just as good. Okay. All right. And let's see, this right here, this is from Costco. So about every, I don't know, 10, 12 weeks or so, we go to Costco and we just do a big stock up of things. And this is something that I've bought like two grocery hauls ago. So when I go back in a few weeks, I'm probably about 8 or 9 weeks out from going. Anyways, we're gonna eat out what we have first, but I'm gonna get some more of this stuff, y'all. It's so delicious. I watched a girl on Andrea on Pine and Prospect Home. She used it in some of her cooking one time and I tried it. It's really good. It has, let's see if I can read this, onion powder, garlic, carrot, black pepper, red bell pepper, tomato granules, orange peel, parsley, bay leaves, thyme, basil, celery, lemon peel, oregano, savory organic mustard seed, cumin, organic marjoram, coriander, cayenne pepper, citric acid, and rosemary. So it's just a delicious blend. Some of the stuff I have in our greenhouse. But I'm gonna pour some of this into. All right, and then last of the actual seasonings here that we're gonna use is some salt. And I would start a little on the salt and then you could always add more. I have one person in our family that doesn't like a lot of salt on their greens. So I don't want to overdo it there. Okay, so last but not least, I have used bacon before. I have chopped it up and I put it in there, or I've left like the whole pieces, and then after it cooks, I would pull it out. But y'all, I cook pretty much at least 6 days a week, sometimes 7. I cook breakfast in the morning, and we always have sausage or bacon, or either Canadian bacon. But every time I cook most of the time, not every time, that I cook the bacon or sausage, I will I will save my drippings from that. And so I'm going to use a hefty amount of this stuff. And this probably is a mix. Well, I know it is a mix, actually. It's a good bit. Don't be scared of it. You need some oil, some fat in there to cook these down. That helps tenderize them, helps flavor them. Your great-grandmother would have told you to do the same. She might have had lard, whatever. If you got lard, use lard. If you don't have the drippings from this or any kind of lard, just put some oil in there. Not, we don't use seed oils, but maybe some avocado oil or olive oil, or if you just want to do seed oils, go with vegetable oil, whatever you want to do. The point is, you just need some kind of oil, some kind of fat in there. All right, so now that is going to be it. So I'm just going to turn this on and I'm going to let it cook. And you might be wondering how long to let it cook. I don't know. So I would say at least 20 minutes on a low to medium high heat. I just, there again, I don't measure and I don't time people. Unless it's baking and I have to be specific, I just cook it. So anyways, and you might want to check it. Obviously, if I leave the lid off, it's gonna, the chicken broth and all that's gonna evaporate out of here. But I'm gonna put a lid on it to keep it. Those collards will cook down. When I get done with this pot, you'll be shocked at how much they've cooked down. If you've ever cooked any form of greens, even spinach, you know how that is. So it's gonna cook down, and then if I need to add a little more chicken broth or water, I can. I probably won't, honestly, because I don't want them just drowning in it. I want a little bit of flavor, but I also don't want to put it on my plate and just collard juice go everywhere and get into my other dishes. So anyways, but yeah, we'll check it in a few minutes. All right, so I'm gonna show y'all what we ended up with. So this is my collards. And I have tried them. They are delicious. They're seasoned just right. The Greek fries, so to speak, I did not fry them in a traditional sense. So sometimes I will cut my potatoes in like wedges, and I will put them in water while I'm cutting them with some salt. Drain the water off, put them in some cornmeal and flour, or just cornmeal really, and then fry that up like traditional French fries. They are delicious. And then put them on a baking sheet with a paper towel, and then put your feta cheese. I did put some, you can't see it because it's in there, but I did do my Greek oregano, and then the feta cheese, I just squirted the lemon juice in there. But yeah, if you fry them, do that, and then just put your feta cheese and lemon and oregano over the top. So I have my salmon patties, and then I did decide to make some lacy cornbread. I just used the Hoover's cornmeal, and what you can do is kind of get it real soupy, and it pours out, and it makes the good little ridges like that. It's just crunchy. So yeah, so it's right at 7 o'clock, and we're tired, so we're gonna go ahead and eat, and then get the dishes done and call it a day. Thanks. Y'all have a blessed week, and thank you for watching Blue Heron Homestead.